Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Help Without Sight with your host, Sailor Cooper and
co-host Tyler Evans.
Yes, episode 52 now. We have another spectacular guest. Thanks to Kevin Higgins. I don't know where he's getting us, but he sent us all these incredible guests, and we'll thank him for that. So this is episode 52, Healing Touch, a conversation with Guy and Irene Siverson of Graceful Touch Massage. So, to sum up, okay, in this enriching episode, we sit down with Guy and Irene Siverson, except his wife is not here. We sit down with Guy and Irene Siverson, the heart and soul behind Graceful Touch Massage in Rapid City, South Dakota, with a mission to connect with people's hearts through professional massage therapy. The couple has carved a beautiful niche in the wellness industry, garnering over 75 star reviews on Google. Join us as we delve into the journey of fostering a healthy and stronger community through a range of therapeutic services, including deep tissue, Swedish, and remedial muscle therapy, all offered at friendly prices. Discover how they are helping individuals from various professionals, including trainers, painters, and entrepreneurs and landscapers, to evolve into a healthier, happier version of themselves. And Guy and Irene Siverson, a dynamic duo in the world of therapeutic massage, are the proud founders of Graceful Touch Massage. Both graduates of the Black Hill School of Massage in Hermosa, they have dedicated themselves to connecting with people at a personal level, offering more than a personal service, but a gateway to a healthier lifestyle, a blissful lifestyle, we should say. Their journey began with a simple yet profound mission to touch people's hearts through professional massage therapy. This heartfelt approach has resonated with many, earning them a stellar reputation with many 5-star reviews on Google. So give it up for Guy Siverson. How you doing?
Good, doing really good. I'd like to just make a slight correction on what you said. You said 75 5-star reviews, and that would be something cool.
I know, and that's what came up with your bio. That's what your bio was in there. So
yeah, we actually have more than 400 5-star reviews on Google in the last 5 years.
yay!
That's crushing it. Now, my wife is here with me in spirit. She's not here on camera. I'm kind of the person that's behind I'm the mouth, she's the technical. So there we go.
Yeah, it takes a team.
There we go.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's start. What got y'all into massage therapy? Because on Hope Without Sight, we feature people who've overcome challenges in life and now live a life full of bliss reigning supreme. I'm sure y'all had challenges. What got y'all into this?
Absolutely. So when we started heading this direction, I was in a failed company. I had owned a failed company that, and in your readout for what you want here on this broadcast, I wanted to be able to deliver that because as a company failed, so did my spirits, shall we say, so did my energy. I became suicidally depressed.
Oh,
I was like, I'm just done with this thing called life. And yet, and at that point, the lowest level of where we were living in 6 feet of snow, negative 20 degree below weather in a place called St. Mary's, Idaho. Why do I tell you all that? Well, our house was a teepee.
I'm actually going to Idaho in a week. Have you been to Sun Valley? Is that Sun Valley?
Absolutely.
I'm going there.
We lived in a teepee.
That's awesome.
6 feet of snow, negative 20, suicidally depressed, in a teepee.
Just you and your
then
wife.
we decided that we needed to make a change. The only
Just you-
problem is with the failed company that we had, we were all out of money. We had none of that.
You and your
So,
wife, right?
yeah, me and my wife. So what are we gonna do? Well, we contacted the School of Massage in Hermosa, who happens to be part of our church, and said Irene wanted to come and do massage. I didn't want to do massage. Irene had been told long time before that she'd be an excellent person at massage, but she knew she could never do it because she has dyslexia.
Ah,
So she never pursued that. I had no interest in it. I'm more of a communicator. I'm psychology. I'm communication. I'm soft sciences. I'm not hard sciences. Anatomy, physiology, pathology, kinesiology, no thank you, ology. And yet, we called up and we said that she wanted to come to school. We called the very next day, and we said, we're not coming. You want money in order for us to go through your program, and we are flat out of that. We are not going to be coming. They asked us to do one thing. They asked us to pray and just see what would happen. 1 week later, we get a call from a friend. Friend wants us to come for dinner. We come over for dinner. The friend says, we understand your situation and how you got here. We understand the dynamics. We want to help. We're going to pay for Irene's schooling.
amen.
There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Called the school back. The school offered the possibility of both of us going to school for just about the same cost as what she was going to school. We talked to our donors and we agreed we would both go to school. Got on campus. On campus, the science teacher comes up to me and says, I'm really concerned about your wife. And I said, why are you concerned about my wife? And he said, because she's got dyslexia. I don't think she can pass my tests or my class. And I said, you are absolutely right. She's got dyslexia. She's also got purpose. She's also got passion. She's also got pursuit. You will have no trouble with my wife, but I guarantee you one thing. You do have trouble in your class. I'd never been to his class. How did I know that he had trouble in his class? He said, well, what's my trouble? I said, well, sir, you're looking at it. Because unlike my wife, who has the purpose, who has the passion, who has the pursuit, I have none of that. I have none of that. And you're going to help me pass your tests and your class. I just want to wish you good luck ahead of time. Now, before I go on, do you have any questions for me?
Wow, it's crazy. So you even detected that he would have trouble. He had trouble.
I knew I would. I didn't have any interest in hard sciences.
Right.
That's a guy. You're
Yeah.
making me cry because that's a powerful story.
Oh, we're just getting
Oh,
started.
yeah.
We're me and Tyler on an incredible journey, and we've been through very similar challenges.
We're just
Yeah.
getting
You see, we're
started.
both blind, and we've had challenges, and it's only thanks to some generous investors,
Oh,
people, family, and friends who really helped us.
Awesome.
We are where we are
That's awesome.
today, and we can't wait to see what's ahead. And Guy, you're one of my best friends. Amen.
Awesome. Well, let's keep the ball rolling. And Matthew, do you have any question for me?
So yeah, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be a masseuse, and there's times where I think, because my sister-in-law, I live with her. She always likes me to massage her, like her back and stuff.
Sure.
And like, she's like, man, you didn't even go to massage school and you're good at this. And I'm like, oh, thank you. A lot of people have the concept you have to go to massage school to be a masseuse. That is true, right?
It really depends on what state you live in. Different states have different regulations. Now, you're going to get paid for it, technically, you really should go to school. But there are blind massage therapists out there.
Oh, I know there are. There was a movie I watched actually called At First Sight with Val Kilmer and Mira Sorvino. I don't know if you've heard of that movie.
I haven't.
He's a masseuse, of course. He's blind,
Yeah.
and he actually gets infatuated with her. And then, of course, he gains a sight through surgery and hates seeing, and then he goes blind again. So, yeah.
There are blind masseuses. There are.
There are. Absolutely. There are.
Absolutely.
You don't have to see to do that.
Shall we continue forward?
Yes. Let's continue forward. Yes.
Awesome. So about halfway through school, God talks to me and he tells me to go look for work. Well, I understand that God doesn't necessarily understand how all the dynamics work down here on earth. So I was there to help him out. I advised him that there is not a possibility that anyone anywhere is going to hire someone who is halfway graduated. So there's absolutely no reason for me to look for work. To which he responds back, look for work. I go out onto Indeed.com and I find on Indeed.com the first reference I find is a company that will look for clients for you and you pay them based on the clients that they send you. I called them up. We had a great conversation until they asked a very bad question. The question they asked, where's your office? Well, remember, I'm broke. I'm also a student. And the closest area where a good office would be is 45 minutes away. And he said, well, if you don't have an office, because I didn't have an office, we can't help you. So I said, all right, send me your paperwork. Send me the contract. I will sign your contract and I will have an office in 2 weeks. I don't know how it works where you guys are, but here in Rapid City, how many offices do you think are available for $0 of rent monthly?
None.
I'd say none.
Exactly. Well, that's what we were gonna find. So I turned to God and I said, look, you brought us here to South Dakota, a place I would never live. I remember being in Spokane, Washington and hearing on the radio, today in South Dakota, it will be -45. And I was really glad I didn't live there. Well, now I do.
Oh, yeah.
And so about a week later, we go to a chair massage outing. At the chair massage outing, there's what I call a crazy water lady. Guess what the crazy water lady wanted to talk about? Crazy water lady wanted to talk about water. I didn't want to talk about water. I want to talk about massage. She wanted to talk about water. I didn't want to talk about water. I want to talk about massage. Then I came up with an idea. I would ask for her business card. She would think she had won and she'd leave me alone. It worked like a charm until I got home. Then I'm there going through paperwork and whatnot. Guess what surfaces but her business card?
Wow.
God tells me at that point, I'll let you back in just a minute. God tells me at that point, call her. Well, I need to help God out again because I needed to let him know I don't do flat states and Chadron, Nebraska is flat. I'm from the mountains. I like my mountains.
Yeah, you like the mountains.
Absolutely.
You know, it's interesting.
What's
when you
that?
say I need to help God out.
Mhm.
No, you don't. He needs to help you out.
Well, of course. But do we get in that attitude sometimes where we think we know better than God? Yeah, absolutely.
Think about the characters, like even from, just the very beginning, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, whatever. And of course, Noah. Noah's a prime example. Like he told Noah what to do. He didn't say how it's going to be done. He just said, do it.
Yep.
He just simply said, trust me and rely on me, and it's going to work. And it did.
And we're in the process of learning. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I called the crazy water lady up, and guess what the crazy water lady wanted to talk about?
Water.
Absolutely. Smart. Right on. She You want to talk about water? I didn't want to talk about water. I want to talk about my anatomy test. She wanted to talk about water. I want to talk about
It's
anatomy.
like, wait a
So
minute.
you had to do anatomy testing for massage therapy then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely,
yeah,
we
you
had
did.
4 different science classes. 4 different science classes. So,
Pressure points, all that stuff.
yeah. And then she mentions that she has a couple friends that have a water store in Rapid City, South Dakota. That's the city where I live. Suddenly, guess who wants to talk about water? Hydration, massage. I think there's
Wait.
something there.
That same lady, right?
Yeah, that same lady that was an hour and a half away knew a couple here. So I met with the water store people, and we decided we wanted to do business together. And
Okay.
what they told me was, because we understand your situation, we want to help you out. For the first 6 months, you owe no rent unless you start doing really good. This all took place in a course of 2 weeks. We now have our place to rent at $0 per month. Though we started paying them as it was 3 months in.
Dang.
So now, after all of that, well, actually kind of in between, we needed a table, we needed sheets, we needed oil, we needed business cards. So we thought, on no money, wonder what the bank would loan us. And so we called up the bank and we said, here's our situation. They said, oh yeah, we can get you a $5,000 loan.
For sure.
What's that?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
you bet.
Well, so we started using our credit cards because we knew that loan money was coming through. We got the tables we needed, and we got the chairs we needed. We got the supplies we needed. We got the oils we needed. We got the business cards we needed. The only thing we weren't getting was that $5,000.
Right.
And so we called the bank back up again. That's not when we wanted to hear, oops, we made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
So you know what you could do? Turn around and sue that bank and say, hey, you should have been
Well, that
for trust issues or whatever.
yeah, it's not what we did. Instead, what we did was we said, well, we've been pushed into the letter B. And we drove to the attorney.
Yep.
To file bankruptcy.
Oh,
And,
okay.
so we started our business. When you start a business, you're supposed to have this capital part that the business can survive on.
For sure. Yeah. Because
We
Well-
had none of that. In fact, we were bankrupt.
then what caused you to go bankrupt if people helped you out?
Well, they helped us with the rent, but we had maxed out our credit cards and we didn't have the ability to pay yet because we hadn't built our clientele up.
I see.
So
You know what's
Go ahead,
interesting
Matt.
about what's interesting about bankruptcy is it doesn't actually dissolve the company entirely. It just allows the company to, like in a sense, reset its finances, and then eventually they could get back on their feet. Because just because you go file for bankruptcy and have bankruptcy doesn't mean you close.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So on the way into the bankruptcy court parking lot, I have my Ford C-Max electric vehicle. It's a real nice vehicle. I've never had any problem with it at all. It's a beautiful vehicle. I love it. It's a nice vehicle. It's probably about the only nice thing we had at that point. And I prayed and I said, Lord, if this car is to be part of that bankruptcy, please show me a sign. Instantly, it stopped working.
Whoa. I knew that
Instantly.
would happen. I knew you would say that.
I was in middle of the parking lot. My wife's in the passenger seat. I can't get the car started. It will not start. I'm not even in a parking space. So I turned back to the Lord and said, okay, I get it. I get the sign, but I need to park the car so I can sign the papers. So would you turn this car back on? Because I can't. I pushed the button, it fired up right now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow. He said,
We parked the car.
yeah.
We went and parked the car and signed the papers, took the car over to the Ford dealers, walked into the Ford dealers, put the keys on the counter, turned around, and the receptionist says, hey, wait, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm giving you my car. They said, well, you can't just do that. I said, strange, because I just did that. And I walked out. My friend who had helped me get over there said, you know, we have a car. I called it the miracle car.
Hmm.
Why is it the miracle car? Largely because it was a miracle it went anywhere.
Oh yeah.
The front window was shattered in multiple places. The door handles and the doors were falling off. The ceiling tile for the ceiling up above was flaking off on our heads. Not a problem for a bald person, but my wife's not bald. And basically when we were heading somewhere, you could probably hear us about 3 miles away. I mean, that was the car. About a year and a half later, we got another car because of a friend. The very next week after we got that other car, the car stopped working and even trained mechanics could not get it started again.
Dang.
So what happened to the Ford C-Max? You gave it up for the bankruptcy? What
Yeah.
happened?
Well, I gave it up to the bankruptcy. I let it go. And I said, you know what? Whatever it takes, we're going to do this.
So you
Sometimes,
sacrificed a lot.
yeah, sometimes in the process of reaching success, you've got to sacrifice a lot, if not most everything.
Yep.
Wow.
So now we are in the water store, and we got business cards right at the beginning, although we didn't realize we couldn't afford them. And my wife had gone around to all the chiropractors, physical therapists, practitioners, and whatnot in order to give them business cards. And that way we could build leads and get leads from them. Guess how many leads we got from all the business cards that she handed out?
I don't know, none.
You're right, Matthew. You're
None?
absolutely right.
It's
Zero.
like, because
How many-
before you're saying, he was saying none,
Yeah.
because I
Zero.
guess none. And I knew when you were talking about the car, how you said the car was just, you didn't have any problems. I was thinking in the back of my mind, oh, it's going to stop working.
Hmm.
I was right. It did.
Wow.
Zero. And
So you still
so
got no leads.
So we got no leads from all that effort. We had leads from other things, but not from that effort. 8 months later, the water store people say, we want to retire and we want you to take over the water store. That would have been fine, except for we did not feel called to take over the water store. So
Right.
we asked them for 30 days that we could just pray about it, and they granted us that. The very next week, we get a phone call. We would like you to join our team, our chiropractic team, as our massage therapist. And I said, sorry, I can't help you. And they said, wait, why can't you help? I said, well, my wife and I are both massage therapists. Therefore, you would need to be looking for massage therapists in order for us to be interested. And they said, well, we have 2 rooms. And I said, well, we have something to talk about. We met and they said, draw up a letter of everything you would need in order to move in. We did that. We sent it to them, email. They sent it back. And absolutely every point that we would need was marked no. We would not be going to the chiropractic clinic, and we would not be staying at the water store. So we decided to open up our own clinic. Found a place that was perfect, absolutely ideal. The landlord said, drop a contract of everything you need to move in, and we'll just roll it into your rent. Well, I'd heard things like that before. Did that, received the reply back, I was talking basic. Well, that closed that door. I turned to God and I said, God, you brought us to South Dakota, a place I would never live. You brought me into a trade that I would never do. Happens to be my most favorite trade I've ever done. And we need a place to practice. Fix it. Well, at that point, God said, send the same exact email that you sent last week to the chiropractor again. Well, it was my turn to help God out, because absolutely, there's no way that anyone would change their mind on everything when just 1 week earlier they had said no. That's totally not possible. God's wasting my time and his talent. He said, send it. I sent it. We got a response back. Absolutely everything that they had previously said no to was now a yes.
Uh-huh.
So we moved in with the chiropractor for about 2 years until we decided to open our own clinic, and that's where we are today.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I'm confused because your story is quite compelling. It's a roller coaster, but I did get kind of lost. So did you declare bankruptcy? Like, how did you get out of it? Did you pay the debt back? That's what I'm still kind of.
Well,
lost.
once you declare bankruptcy, you don't pay no debt back.
That's
I
right.
pay- okay. It's
It's
not paying.
canceled. Basically, you're saying, hey, can't pay anything back, nothing I can do. So
It does affect
it's
your
like
credit.
forgiveness.
it
Isn't it
doesn't-
basically forgiveness?
Yeah,
Debt
and that was
forgiveness?
back in 2010. It affects your credit for, I think it is 6 years.
But you can repair it. But wow.
Yeah.
So you finally
No,
moved.
it wasn't
into chiropractic.
2010, it was 2018. I'm sorry, I was wrong on that.
Whoa, 2018?
Right,
Wow.
right
like-
before, what happened in 2019, guys?
Well, we had a businessman in office, unlike this clown.
And then
No.
COVID.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
we actually had a
talking
businessman, Trump.
about.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
there
don't-
you go.
we-
There you go. I got you.
Yeah,
Now,
that's who we need,
what
a
hap-
tough businessman.
What has happened since 2019?
Oh, man. COVID happened.
COVID.
Exactly.
COVID.
Well,
And then we had to claw our way back. And now we're trying to claw our way back from
And
the
inflation. and all
Biden
that.
pandemic.
Yeah. And it's in this platform that we built our business forward to raving success.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we are about to take the very next step.
Yeah.
But before I tell you about that very next step, is there any other questions?
So, give us a timeline. Like, what business were you in before the massage therapy, and I know it failed. What business was it? So when did this whole journey start? So I can get like an accurate timeline. The listeners.
Okay,
can get.
so we started school in May of 2018.
And before that, what business were you in?
Before that, hold on to your hats. We were digital marketers.
Oh,
And that's what
like
failed,
us.
right?
That's what failed.
Oh,
and
man.
and
That's
that's
what we built our business forward successfully on.
Wow.
and that's when you were suicidal and all that, right?
Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
why did it fail? Because of course we don't, in our business, we don't want to fail, but we want to learn lessons from you if all possible,
My business strategy was focused on one platform, which was called, I can't remember, but it was one job board platform I made a ton of money from. Ton of money. Well, that platform joined together with 2 other platforms, and I went from making a ton of money to making nothing off of it.
Ow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so I didn't have a good faceted network to build myself on.
Right.
That's why we're trying to expand our network, Tyler. Yeah, we're getting help
That's
from a great
exactly
team.
right. You know,
Absolutely.
it's interesting that you mentioned that God was telling you to do this thing twice. And, I was thinking to myself, our timing is not his.
Absolutely.
His timing is absolutely perfect. And we don't even realize, we think to ourselves, oh, gotta hurry up, gotta do this, gotta do this. I'm running out of time. And God says, no, you're not. This is my time. And it's perfect. But to us, we have an imperfect conception of time. We think, oh, we gotta do this now, this and this. But God tells us to just be patient sometimes. And sometimes he says, hey, just do this.
So wow.
And And that's where faith comes in. He just says, hey, do it. Just do it. That's it.
So while all this started in 2018 and it's 2023, 5 years later. Wow. So
Oh man.
keep taking us down. Keep taking us
All right.
down. This has been a great story. You've been one of our best guests on our podcast thus far. Wow. So
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to be here. All right. So we don't believe in what's called traditional deep tissue. We believe that it's actually harmful to the body.
And what is that again? What?
The traditional deep tissue, where you got to get in and break up all the knots and whatnot in order to get the relief. We believe that is completely wrong.
So what about using, say, the fingers, the thumb to kind of press and manipulate the muscle by using like circles and.
So what we are heading towards doing, and it's actually going to be launched tomorrow,
Hey!
Yeah. is training people how to do massage correctly. And it's going to cost them $10 to be in the course.
Whoa, that's it.
That's it. $10.
Now this massage, like, do y'all believe in applying pressure on the muscle and use, like things like that, using like the
So
fist?
pull back the cover, Matthew. Guess what you need to do?
What?
Join the course.
Join the course. Oh.
And I will help you guys understand how to get the best results. We have over 400 5-star reviews. Look at any other reviews of massage therapists nationwide. Most of them don't have 400 5-star reviews.
Interesting.
We-
Wow.
If
we
you
have-
do me a
we are
favor.
the game changers in massage. I went
Because
from thinking massage was the last thing in the world that I would ever be interested to do to it's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow. Thing
And
is,
yet-
There's only one thing that I haven't told you now, and that's the link. Can I share that link with you?
sure, if you can put all your information in the chat, everything in the chat about your programs, I'll put this in the show notes and help promote it. That'd be great.
Okay, all I'm going to give you is a link. And with that link, people can go out and find out what we have. We have a killer landing page that will describe everything. It's on stopyourpain.club. Stopyourpain.club.
.club.
Yeah, CLUB, correct.
Yeah, if you could put all this in the chat so that way I can put it in the show notes as well. That'd be great.
Stopyourpain.club is in the chat.
Awesome.
Interesting. So basically, everything you've been taught about massage is basically wrong.
Correct.
So then why are they teaching it?
Because they haven't figured it out themselves.
But still, like, if they haven't figured it out themselves, then why are they doing it?
Well, because
get
they
it.
want to make money too, don't they?
I see.
So,
So basically, you could become a masseuse joining this class, and you could potentially be
No.
certified.
no, I am not saying that.
Oh, okay.
What you can do is you can definitely give an awesome massage.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
Cool.
So, and all it takes in order to find out what the secret sauce behind it is a $10 bill.
Wow.
And it's just $10 flat, nothing more, nothing less.
Well,
No,
there will be other things that are offered if that's of interest, but it's not necessarily like, for example, I've written a book about my story. You can
Well,
you
yes.
can go ahead and secure that for yourself because you know what? I think this is an incredible story.
Well, guess what we're doing? Me and
What's
my friend Taylor are writing a book too.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
I've already
And he
written a
already
book.
wrote his book.
What's your book?
I'll put it in the chat. And,
Okay.
It's a good book. It's about
It's
family
about
dynamics.
navigating
It's
life's
about
challenges.
It's basically navigating family dynamics and life's challenges and stuff.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. And our book is basically like a memoir. Now we're not even near done writing it yet. We got to get to writing, but we haven't worked on it in a while. We got to work on it.
So
But-
the book I'm not that I'm working on currently
Mhm.
is Hell's highway is paved with gold.
Oh, wow. In other words,
Wow.
it seems paid with gold, but in actuality, it's not.
So that particular book that I'm working on now is basically looking at my background and my past, because it's not been pretty, and looking at how even with the ugliness, even with the trouble, even with the trauma, God has brought forward
Yeah.
amazing blessings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
hey guys, I do need to step off, but
Okay.
stopyourpain.club.
Awesome.
And
I'm
before
put-
you go,
Yes.
we wanted to ask you one final question that we always ask our guests, and that is, what do you say to people who feel they have no hope in life? They don't know where to turn.
You could answer this well. I know you can.
Well, I tell them they're right. Because if
Yep.
somebody chooses to think they have no hope, then they don't.
Right.
Until they pick up the gauntlet and move forward in a hopeless situation, despite all the obstacles against them. When they do that, when they choose to pick up and move forward in the empowerment of God in their lives, then they have hope. But if they
Yes.
want to just sit there and say they have no hope, I just tell them they're right.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, in a sense, they are right, because without God, there's no hope. That's what I believe.
That's absolutely
True
true.
hope. I mean, true hope. I'm not talking about just, temporary, this world and then you die and that's it. No, hope. God is hope and love.
That's
Exactly.
absolutely right.
But anyway. But I
Well, your
appreciate-
story
we
is so
appreciate you being on.
captivating.
Thank you.
We
I
appreciate
appreciate that.
you being on.
I appreciate that. When does it go live?
In probably a couple of weeks, I'll definitely let you know when it goes live. I put my contact information, my business card. So
Okay.
if you fill out that form, we'll both get our emails.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
just can
And
you
I'm
just
putting all my programs in the chat too.
And we also have very exciting stuff coming up. Lift Your Spirit Party, which is free, and a Blissful Life Community, which is $25 a month.
Yep, that's
For
all in the
people.
chat. That's all in the chat.
awesome? I'll take a look.
All right.
All right,
sounds
well,
good.
everybody, Guy Siverson,
All right.
Guy Siverson, you
appreciate it.
inspired us today.
Yes, you did.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thank
Give
you.
it up for Guy Siverson on episode 52. Stay blessed and live life in bliss. We hope you feel renewed, inspired, and encouraged, like you can just carry on and conquer the world.
Please hit the subscribe button on all platforms and tell your friends and family to do the same.
Blessings to all.